Fantastic to have you with us. Welcome to Farmer's Kitchen with me, Helen Farmer, presented by Spinneys and here on Dubai Eye 103.8. Whether you're watching or listening, this is our brand new programme for all you foodies out there. Come with me. We're going to be delving into the world of desserts in this episode, finding out about the best and juiciest dates. Have you got any idea where they come from? Also finding out which are the best eggs to use in cakes. And I'm really excited to get some more information on camel milk. Never even tried it, so we'll be giving that a bit of a whirl later on. Taking all of our fantastic produce from here at Spinneys to the kitchens at JA The Resort. We're going to Palm Tree Court for this show, where we're going to be meeting our expert. It's Yasmine Idriss Tannir, baker, food enthusiast, recipe developer. She is the person to guide us through the world of Ramadan drinks and desserts on this episode of Farmer's Kitchen. Great to be in store at Spinneys and learn about some of the hero products in our mystery dishes today. And as you can see, there's going to be a sweet focus. Eggs, camel milk, dates. And I'm joined this afternoon, we have got Tiffany here, Tiffany Eslick. She is the editorial director at Spinneys magazine. So you test dishes, you write about dishes. Do you have a sweet tooth yourself?
Absolutely. It's terrible, to my detriment.
Never apologise. Now, eggs, great staple for sweet and savoury, and I think to have them in the fridge at all times is just an absolute lifesaver. Can you talk us through some of the selection that are available in store? We've got omega-3, organic, free-range, farm fresh. What do we need to know about the origin of these eggs?
Yeah, the range, as you said, is extensive, and they are sourced from a variety of suppliers who are adhering to incredibly strict standards. So there's a consistency, there's a great quality. A number of them come from an Irish company actually called Nestbox, who work with Golden Irish. And it's two families who came together, and they have a lovely story. Like, they've been selling eggs for decades. One of the families started by just selling on their bicycle and going through a town. And so these eggs, the chickens are free range. They have free range and organic. Super well looked after. You can guarantee, and you can see it. The quality of the eggs, the color is good size,
good flavor.
Good flavor. They don't. You see on the shells that they're all kind of really really good quality. So yeah.
Now, dates, of course, are really significant at this time of year for breaking fast. Can you tell us about the origin of some of the dates here in Spinneys and why they are so important?
Yeah, initially for the breaking of the fast, so it's because of the rich content of natural sugars. So after a day of fasting, it's quite a good thing to replenish those sugar, your blood sugar levels, to spike them up. And then, so we've got medjool dates and kodri dates mainly, and they come pitted, non-pitted.
All the flavour combinations.
Nuts, fruit, like dried fruit in them, covered in chocolate, white chocolate, dark chocolate.
And some lovely gift ideas here
really,
as well.
Really
Is that
lovely.
something that's popular with customers?
Yeah, hugely popular.
And the camel milk. I know nothing about camel milk. I don't even know what it tastes like. Is it from the UAE?
Yes, so now I'm like your pro on camel milk.
Tell me everything.
So it is. So Camelicious is one of the main suppliers, and it's a state-of-the-art camel farm that's set out just on the Hatta Road. We actually went there to do like a shoot, which was fantastic.
What's it like?
It's it's so clean, first of all, and well ordered, and like amazingly behaved camels, which is great, and the cutest baby camels who like bounce across the desert, and it's fascinating what they've done. It's pioneering as well. So like camels are kept with their calves. The calves only weaned after about a year, which is fantastic.
That's really ethical.
And it's interesting because camels will actually stop producing milk if they are separated from their calves immediately. So when the camels are going for their milking, they are only separated for 7 minutes a day, and the actual milking process is only 2 minutes because they want to ensure that they leave enough milk for the calves to suckle every day.
So what does it taste like?
It's slightly saltier, so it's as sort of creamy and rich as normal cow's milk, but there is a slightly saltier taste to it. So I think you can just combat that, like if you're wanting to do like a flavored chocolate milk, or you
have
can
some
buy
flavors
that.
Here. Chocolate already mixed, strawberry already mixed as well.
The chocolate's my favorite.
Your own.
You could, and then that would, if you put dark chocolate, melt that down, put some camel milk, that would be really healthy because it is such a healthy type of milk for you to drink.
And now that we have all of our lovely ingredients from Spinneys, it's time to take them to JA The Resort, where Yasmine is waiting in our kitchen with our live audience. can't wait to get baking and hopefully tasting. So keep it here on Dubai Eye 103.8 for Farmer's Kitchen with me, Helen Farmer. And we're here at the gorgeous kitchens at JA The Resort. This is Palm Tree Court, professional kitchen, but don't worry, during our Ramadan episode today, we'll be talking about dishes that you can do at home. And we have a home baker. We've got joined by Yasmine Idriss Tannir. She is here from Petit Chose, a passionate baker and someone who can shed some light into what we need to have in our pantry for baking and some Middle Eastern influences as well. Welcome.
Hi, Helen. Thank you for having me.
So we've been to Spinneys. We have our ingredients. Let's have a quick recap of what we have. First thing I can see, bowls of dates,
yes.
Beautiful juicy dates. What is it about dates that you like cooking with?
Okay, so these specific dates are medjool dates. They're really chewy and thick and chunky, and they're perfect for baking because you chop them and they won't dry out.
So they'll kind of caramelly flavors.
Exactly, they are very caramelly, very sweet, very chewy, really yummy.
So we've got some dark brown sugar here, lots of butter. So this is sour cream.
That's sour cream.
Eggs, baking powder, baking soda. Why are we using both today?
I'm using baking soda and baking powders because the recipe that I'll be doing has dates in it. And dates are quite heavy, so we need this to lift them up.
So they don't all sink?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. We've also got some hidden ingredients over here, including one secret. So very sweet.
Yes.
On this side, but a bit of a savoury kind of twist here. We'll be revealing that soon. Have you guessed what we're creating today? More clues coming up if not. And let's reveal our mystery ingredient. What is in the bowl, Yasmine?
Can we call it like a liquid gold?
Can we?
Maybe. So it is, can I say what it is?
You can say.
So it is creamy, it is earthy, and it is tahini.
And where does tahini come from? What's it made from?
So tahini is actually ground sesame seeds, raw, and we use it a lot in the Lebanese cuisine. Actually, we use it more in savory dishes like...
but not today.
Not today.
So where can we see it normally?
So usually it's in hummus, like the chickpea puree with tahini. It's one of the main ingredients. We also use it a lot in tagines, over fish, with the yogurt mixed in, and it adds a lot of earthy flavor, a lot of creaminess.
So popular in Lebanese cooking, where you're from. Where is the origin of tahini?
This is something we cannot discuss.
Oh.
It's going to create a political problem. Everybody claims sesame is their own. So
we'll just say it's Middle Eastern.
Yes.
Okay. And do you know what? We revealed the mystery ingredient. Go on, tell us what are we going to be baking today?
I'm going to actually say that we're going to be using the tahini with a salted caramel.
Wow.
That's going to go on top of a gorgeous, moist date cake.
I really can't wait to get started. So how can I help? I have a knife. Does that help?
Yes. Just start chopping the dates
so
for me,
the
like a chunky.
Dates.
Yeah.
Chunky is good because
Yes.
I have no knife skills at all.
Just chunky.
And what are you going to be doing,
And
Yasmine?
I'm going to start by preparing the dry ingredients.
We've got the mixer there.
So I'm using the whisk attachment on a standalone mixer, but we can use a handheld mixer. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm going to put in all of the dry ingredients, starting with my plain flour. And then I'm going to have salt, baking powder, baking soda, the cinnamon.
Why did the dry ingredients go in first, Yasmine?
So now what you can do to make your life a bit more difficult is sift everything together and whisk it by hand and whatever. What we're going to do is just put everything in the machine, use the whisk attachment to create a bit of air and instead of sifting. So we're doing...
Perfect.
Yeah, we're just like sifting.
I've done about a handful of these dates. Do you want some more?
Yes, all of them.
All
please.
of these?
Yes.
Okay, so this is probably about 12 large dates.
Yes.
And these are the medjool, so they are large. They smell delicious, actually.
Yeah.
You can smell the sweetness.
So I'm gonna...
And they're sticky already. Yeah. All right, fire up the mixer.
I'm just going to do it on a very slow speed, so the flour doesn't fly away.
Please don't do that.
And we're just aiming on mixing everything together, all the dry ingredients. And
where did the idea for this dish come from? Is it something you'd had before, or is it your own creation?
So the date cake is a staple, I think, in baking. And since we live in Dubai, dates are so available and they're in such a good quality. I always try to incorporate them in my granolas, in my cakes and bakes and all of these things. So, and the tahini with the caramel is a twist to make it a bit more oriental, a bit more close to home, you know.
And this would be served on the iftar table. Could you have it later at night?
You can have it for dessert after iftar, or you can have it as a suhoor. So, you know, in the middle of the night when you just want to have something really healthy and filling and sweet and delicious.
Maybe not healthy.
It is made with love, so it counts as healthy. I'm gonna now change the whisk to the beater because we want to add in the liquid or the wet ingredients.
So all the dry is mixed through.
Yeah.
And we'll be putting in what first?
On a low speed.
Okay.
On the lowest setting, I'm just going to add the butter that is cut into small pieces and that is very soft and at room temperature.
And if it was cold out of the fridge, what would happen?
Actually, you can't really use it if it's cold out of the fridge, but I once saw a tip that I really liked. I've never tried it, but if you take a glass, fill it with boiling water, just throw the water away and cover the ice cold butter with it, and then the butter will soften very, very quickly.
Ah, that's clever.
Yeah.
We don't need to do that today because it is beautifully room temperature. So that's going in with those dry ingredients in the mixer.
We want to achieve a consistency of sand, like dry sand.
Like a crumble.
Yeah, before starting to add in the sour cream and then the eggs. You can smell it, smells divine.
I can see cinnamon is already coming off that.
It smells so good.
Oh, really, and obviously butter.
Yes, butter. I know. So
you can head over to our social media, of course, to see what's happening in the kitchen. Yasmine, add that sour cream into the mix. Go to our website, dubai1038.com, to find out the recipes. You can try this at home too. And I have to say, I do enjoy baking, but I don't consider myself to be an accomplished baker. And so far, so simple.
Okay, I'm gonna just scrape the sides of the bowl down. So if you can see, it's like nice and creamy, but the edges need a bit of scraping. So I'm just gonna scrape the edges.
Already looking like a really, really beautiful batter without the cinnamon. There wasn't that much.
No,
it was probably
like a teaspoon and a half, yeah.
And the smell is fantastic.
So I'm gonna start adding the eggs one at a time until it's completely incorporated before adding the next one.
And it's a kind of a biscuity brown.
Yes.
From the dark brown sugar and from that cinnamon too.
There's like a rich flavor of molasses that comes from the dark brown sugar.
What color will it be when it's finished?
It's going to be a beautiful brown with, and it's going to be topped with some very nice toppings. You'll see.
Okay, get those eggs in. So any bakers in your family? I know you're a foodie family.
So my mom used to bake a lot. I remember one of my earliest memories is when she once made a cake filled with ice cream, and I was so surprised and I couldn't believe how did she do that. And then now I just realized she just baked it and filled it up.
And do you bake cakes for your own children?
I do a lot, and I actually because my parents live back home in Lebanon, so for my mom's birthday I actually baked her a cake and took it with me to Lebanon and surprised her. Yeah.
Oh, that is lovely.
So it's I think baking is all about getting together and, you know, gathering up. So I don't want to overmix this.
Okay, so really silky batter there. The smell of cinnamon coming off beautifully. And what are we going to do next?
Okay, so now we're going to take the bowl off the machine. I'm just going to mix it up by hand a bit to make sure the sides are scraped. And we're going to add your lovely dates.
Which were expertly chopped.
Yes.
You're using a spatula there, and that's just to get all of the batter off the sides of the bowl.
I'm using a rubber spatula, my nice pink rubber spatula, and making sure to remove any flour pockets or sour cream pockets from the bottom, and that's it.
There we go. The dates have been folded in, and as you said, not overworked. We don't want to be stressing that batter out. We've got a bundt tin. Why have we chosen the bundt tin? So
this, to make it extra special, you can bake this cake in any normal pan, but to make it extra special, I just chose a very intricate bundt pan.
Is this more difficult because of all of the...
It is.
It is?
Yes.
So what have we done to get this pan ready?
So you have to use a brush, like a baking brush, and a lot of melted butter. Paint it really well in all the little crevices. Make sure you coat every single corner with melted butter. Then you sprinkle some flour on top, shake it really well, tilt it upside down, tap it with a wooden spoon to get off all the excess, and then it's ready to be used.
Let's get the batter in.
Yes.
Let's get this in the oven. I cannot wait to try this tahini salted caramel icing. What do we need to do to get started, Yasmine?
Okay, so we're gonna use some whipping cream, so some like heavy cream, fresh heavy cream, that we're gonna heat before adding to the caramel. We're gonna use some just regular white sugar to caramelize. And I'm going to talk about that a bit later.
That scares me a little bit.
Yes, it's, by the way, if you have pets or young kids, they're not allowed to be in the kitchen while you're doing caramel because it's boiling, like scalding, very dangerous. I always keep my kids out. And then we're going to add some butter, some salt, some vanilla, and our lovely, lovely ingredient, which is tahini or sesame paste.
That's that savory twist.
Yes.
So let's get the stove
Okay.
on.
Okay, I'm just gonna make sure that this is not very hot. So I'm gonna heat the cream just a bit to have it at room like lukewarm, and I'm gonna start to caramelize the white sugar.
And you're putting it all in one go.
We put it all in one go, and for the next 7 minutes I'm gonna be holding this and I'm gonna be shaking it without leaving it out of sight, even if it takes time, because we have to reach a deep amber color. Some people even say it should smoke, but I'm not that daring. We have to wait until it's all melted and a rich, deep amber color. We're still waiting for the caramel. We have to wait. It's gonna start, you can see the edges are starting to melt. It's gonna take time, but we have to just patiently shake the pan until all of the sugar has dissolved.
And no need for a wooden spoon or a spatula, you're just moving it around by shaking the pan.
Yep. Okay. Otherwise it might caramelize and make some clumps, so we're just gonna wait. No, I can't.
And it's very hot. The whisk is going in.
I'm just gonna
to give it a little
help.
And our cream there has been on that stove top. You're happy with that temperature?
Yeah, it's just lukewarm because when we're gonna add it to the boiling hot sugar, we don't want it to really like the contrast in the temperature might make it bubble, and it's a bit dangerous.
So it's just not so much a shock reaction in the pan?
Yes, exactly. It's just to have them a little bit at a close temperatures so they mix better together.
Okay, so the caramel
is almost
ready. Almost there.
Yeah.
And this is caster sugar. Why caster and not granulated?
No, it's actually any sugar you want. Yeah. This base of the salted caramel is really nice to be used with. I sometimes use maple syrup added to the caramel and do fillings with pecans.
Oh, lovely.
And that's really lovely with the smokiness of the maple syrup. Or you can use it as a sauce by itself, as a salted caramel. So you see now it's almost ready.
It's liquid, but it's still it's syrupy rather than watery.
It's thick and golden. Now I'm going to keep it for a tiny bit. I switched off the stove. I'm just going to keep it for a tiny bit longer.
Any other disasters in the kitchen? Please make us all feel better about our lives.
Oh my God, I remember the first time I made a lasagna, while taking it out of the oven, I dropped it. And it fell like a bottom side down.
Okay, did you tell people?
It was for my husband, and all I can say is that we ended up eating it without the cheese.
But did he know it had been on the floor?
Without the cheese layer, So you see, this is like a bit too much.
So really bubbling in the pan there. We're just going to cool it down a little bit.
You need to know your kitchen tools. You need to know a bit the temperatures of the oven, and so
it comes back to the repetition you're talking about in terms of building that confidence.
So I'm just gonna add the cream.
I'm taking a step back.
Like one bit at a time, and always, as I mentioned earlier, you have to
hear the fizzing up there,
and it's thickening, and it's delicious. It's beautiful.
So all of the cream is in the pan there, stirring it through with a beautiful frothy with a metal
whisk.
You've put the butter into our caramel sauce that is in there too, giving that a nice stir, and the salt. Vanilla going in. How much?
Half a teaspoon.
That looks like a vanilla syrup rather
It's
than...
an extract. I don't know.
And it actually smells very natural as well. It doesn't smell too
It smells
chemically.
delicious. No.
So salt is in,
It's a natural extract, vanilla.
vanilla is in. Now for the
Tahini. So I'm just gonna add it bit by bit. It looks very similar to a dessert we have in Lebanon, which is called dibs and tahini, and it is carob molasses and tahini that we just eat with pita bread after big lunches.
That sounds
and
delicious.
It's supposed to really help with the digestion.
And even if it doesn't, who cares?
It helps your mind, I think. So
The tahini is in.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful like that. It's all marbled.
Can
in
we
the
show
caramel.
the camera?
Of course.
It's like marbled. It's like an art piece. I love it.
It's
so
beautiful. We are going to destroy it by giving it a good stir.
Do you want to taste it?
Is that a stupid question? Yes, of course I want to
But
taste it.
we have to just make sure that it's not extremely hot.
Okay. And how do you know when it's ready?
Yeah, it's ready. It's ready to go. You can drizzle it on ice cream, on granolas, on cakes.
That is so unusual because you have got the nuttiness from the sesame seeds, but a savoury and of course the salt and the caramel.
Yeah. It's earthy. It's an earthy caramel
Because
flavor.
I was thinking caramel could be too much, you know, too sweet because we're having a sweet date cake, but I think this is going to offset it perfectly.
It balances the flavors.
We're putting that frosting on next, and I've had a taste. Our live audience will be having a taste too. That's coming up on Farmer's Kitchen, presented by Spinneys here on Dubai Ice. Today we've created a sticky toffee date cake. And we've also made, I say we, you have also made
No, you've had.
a very special caramel with secret ingredient of tahini.
Yes.
Let's get that on.
So I thought that the tahini will balance a bit the sweetness of the dates, the medjool dates that we've used in the cake, with this salted caramel. I'm just gonna drizzle it like generously on top of this beautiful cake, and you can always present a bit of extra caramel on the side, and
Always
maybe
extra caramel. What's nice about the bunt as well, of course, you've got these little pockets where you get
extra caramel.
extra caramel.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do this, and then would you be able to pick a few dates for me?
Of course.
And we're just gonna make this cake extra special. You can use it at iftars, prepare it ahead of time, even prepare the caramel a day in advance.
I was going to ask you about the caramel, because how long would that stay nice and liquid for us?
So you can actually just preheat it very gently in a microwave. I personally don't like to use the microwave. You can just place place it in a glass jar, put it in a little hot bath, like warm water, and that would
Just
heat
loosen
it.
it up
Yeah,
again.
that's more than enough. And then, so now Helen just pitted the dates. I'm just gonna tear them like this and place them on top of the cake. So the caramel can be done like up to 2-3 days in advance, kept in the fridge. If your jar is sterilized, make sure that the jar is sterilized. You put it in the jar, wait for it to cool down, then put it in the fridge.
And that's the case with all caramels, not just the one you've made
with all
today.
caramels. Now with tahini, I wouldn't really recommend having it for a long time because you know, it's added ingredients. Anyway, you will consume it quite quickly. It's
More
not gonna.
dates?
Yeah, I'm just gonna add these, and now to have like an extra festive touch to it, I'm gonna add some edible gold leaves.
Oh, so Dubai.
This is so Dubai, but this is also a simple, very simple way to elevate a dessert. And everybody is seeing, guys, don't be scared, just follow the recipe.
So little flakes there, you're just brushing it on with,
Yeah,
it's
with
actually
a
painter's brush.
Yeah, that's my gold leaf.
You have a special one.
Brush, and I'm just using some food grade edible gold leaf. Just tapping the brush on the gold leaf, taking a tiny bit at a time, and just sticking them on the dates. And I think it really, like, if you're having an iftar, if you're going to visit someone and you don't want to take flowers because they're just, honestly, who wants to get flowers at a dinner and get...
And then you've got to do something with them.
Yes, you need to put them, find the vase, put the water. So this actually is a very good opportunity to play around with the recipe.
I would be delighted to have this come through the door rather than a bunch of flowers.
Yeah, look at that. That's it.
Beautiful accents there of the gold leaf on the date. Let's dish up, we've got some cakes.
Okay. So I'm gonna put the plates here on the side. I'm just gonna
Yep, I will be your sous chef.
gently put some slices. And you can add a bit of extra caramel if you like.
Let's do a little
Live on the
drizzle,
wild side.
Of course. Well, we're celebrating. It's coming out. Let's have our audience up. Who wants to come and have a taste? Come on.
Do you want me to help?
Yeah, I give a little.
You see, that needs now, the caramel needs a bit of
heat?
warming up, yeah. Because
put some on
the
the side.
studio is quite,
We have AC on.
yeah. So I'm just-
Okay, but someone's got a very nice bit of caramel there.
Here you go.
So I might do it from here.
Yes.
So, get stuck in. Have a little taste. I'll put this out here as well. It's the one without the extra.
think it's
Can I get you've got a fork? Do you have a sweet tooth?
No.
Ah, okay, so no extra caramel for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to have a taste as well. So let's get the verdict.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best cakes I've had.
Wow!
I don't have a sweet tooth. So whenever we go to a supermarket or something, I never pick up a cake. But this, I will surely try.
Oh,
Thank you.
wonderful.
Oh, you just made my month.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
totally
yeah,
agree. Yes,
thank you.
it's wonderful. Really,
Wonderful.
it's
Thank
done
you.
really, really well. I don't like sweet,
Okay.
and this is not sweet, and
not
at the same time, it's a balance of the sweet and it's very moist.
Yeah.
and it's very nice.
Yay.
Very nice,
Well
really.
done,
Well
chef.
done.
I
Thank
think
you
the
both.
tahina which you added,
Sorry?
the tahina which
Yes.
you added.
Did you like
I
it?
think yes.
Yeah.
That changed the whole.
I'm so proud of this baby, honestly.
Yeah, well, it just goes to show sometimes it pays to experiment in the
Yes.
kitchen.
Thank you so much.
Yasmine, thank you so much for joining us on Farmer's Kitchen.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
guys.
Thank you.
More shows for you in the future. One next week for some more inspiration for your Ramadan and Eid. It's been an absolute pleasure, and now it's time to eat. Keep it with us on Dubai Eye 103.8.